one. Ready or not, here I come.
You're welcome to Just Ordinals, where we talk everything ordinal.
You're listening
Just
to
Ordinals.
Just Ordinals.
New truck, big lips, old roads, we been turn up since way back when. These bills are innocent. New hits, new beats, no hit story, and you just can't fake that. So let's change that, girl. Let's go put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. If you know what I mean. All night, no brakes, off tail, no gate. Ain't gotta try too hard. My baby's push to start. I'll torque, full speed, off road, on me. 0 to 100 fast. My foot ain't touched the gas. I said, hey baby, slow it down, let's make it last. You said, where's the fun in that? Yeah, let's go put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Mile after mile after mile after mile. Turn up the night like that radio dial. Shoulder to shoulder when nobody knows. Know where we're going, we ain't going over. Putting miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put the miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put the miles on it.
You're listening to Just Ordinals.
Just Ordinals.
Yes, you're welcome to Just Ordinals episode 25, where we talk everything Ordinals, share updates, and alpha. The space turned 1 year recently, actually turned one on the 28th of August, and it's a really, really big deal for me.
Work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
We absolutely made it to 1 year discussing Ordinals, sharing updates, having intense conversations, and I am grateful to everyone who has always been on the space and supporting the space. I'm your host, Barbara, and I've got the co-host with the most, Stripes, here with me as usual. Hey, Stripes, how are you?
I'm good, Barbara. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am super pumped to get into the conversations that we will have today. But first, we've got to check out the top threes. First, the top three. Ordinal is racking up volume on Mintify. In the past 24 hours, we've got Node Monks at number one with a 3.52 BTC. Bitcoin Puppets at number two, maintaining world peace with a 3.1 BTC. And Bitcoin Shrooms keeping up with the Ordinal's history and culture with a 1.19 BTC volume. And moving on to the top three stories in the past 24 hours. DotSwap is set to support BTC to Fractal Bitcoin token swap and vice versa soon. Mintify have just launched their Bitcoin order book and you can earn XP while spending zero fees, but that's only for a while. And finally, Fractal Bitcoin went mainnet yesterday that distributed Fractal Bitcoin token to those who got into the Fractal Bitcoin bootstrap. If you've been checking and keeping updated, you'll notice that the blocks are moving really fast. Let me see. you'll see that we currently have about 6,701 blocks mined so far in the fractal Bitcoin sphere. And those are the top three stories. And now we'll get into the space. But here's the thing, you got to get your friends in, let them know that we are live. The space today is for the witches and the rich, as we've got Taproot Witches leader of the coven, Teresa, on the space with us, and the fattest, richest in the space, Airhead Fun. But we'll start off with Teresa. How are you?
Hi everyone. I'm fine, thank you. How are you guys?
I'm doing okay. I love that you're excited, but you sound like you've been up a lot and you have been working tirelessly. Talk to me about how your schedule have completely changed because Taproot Witches got hyped.
Yeah, I mean, since announcing the project, it's been absolutely insane. I haven't had a good night's sleep since then. Because of, I mean, sometimes I only sleep like 2-3 hours because it's insane. Obviously with the different time zones as well, most of the time where I am, so when I'm supposed to be sleeping, loads of people are active on Discord and I want to engage with them, so that's one of the reasons why, and just in general because there's just so much stuff to do, and we just didn't expect it, so I do just like not sleep.
That's insane. I just remember one time I didn't get enough sleep because we had launched for Mojis and we were up all night, trying to make sure that we sorted the issues that people had. That was insane. And I cannot imagine what it's like for you now to be up all night, like just working and trying to deliver on this. That is so crazy. But I really do commend you. I want to say hello to Airhead Fun, host like the richest of fattest in the space. How are you? Inflated as well. How's it going?
How's it going, Barbara? Thanks so much for having me. I know I know you've been here since the very, very early days. I think a couple hundred followers, and you're an OG on the oil side too. So what you're doing for the community is absolutely priceless. And thanks so much. But yeah, I'm doing great. We just launched quests yesterday, and quests are going absolutely wild. This tweet has like 1,000 retweets, and we're doing something really interesting with quests, where the goal with Airhead is that you download Oil Wallet in order to participate, you bring assets, and you do quests to earn XP. And the more XP you earn, the higher your tier, which means the more inflated your Airhead ordinal is going to be. And so we recently launched quests as a way for people to earn XP regardless of how many assets they have. It's really about like rewarding the people who took early risk in the ecosystem and who are active and able to like spread joy and wealth and fatness in the ordinals community, especially at this point in the market.
That is absolutely insane what you're doing. The strategy is completely different, which is one thing that I think that we'll talk about today, but we're going to take it one step at a time. I want to say hello to Stripes and everyone who's joined us up on stage. I know you'll get a chance to ask a question or make a comment, but I want to say hello to you. General Sa was here. Jern, you're welcome. Satoshis. Ooh, Satoshis, you're welcome on stage. Dr. Obi, Droby, you're welcome. Tezaz, you're welcome. Michael, anyone who's on stage, we appreciate you. But I wanna just, because usually we have a wholesome conversation and then get to understand what the amazing builders that we have on stage are working on. So I want to start off a little bit with, there's the entire conversation about fractal Bitcoins. I just wanted to ask Tribes if he got any of the fractal Bitcoin tokens.
No, thus far I've been sidelined, but I do have some capital potentially because I was looking at a few posts, right? Some people are kind of doing OTC versus getting the miners specifically. And I saw somebody post today that I think it was Hawk who's talking about there's the potential of getting it through a sex listing. I'll have to go through my bookmarks real fast to find that. But yeah, I've done mining in the past, right? And occasionally it just makes more sense financially to buy off of kind of secondary, but something I'm watching very closely.
Right. It's great to hear that. But let me also hear from you the very first time you heard of Taproot Witches, or the very first time you saw it? What can you remember? What it was that went through your head?
Honestly, it was probably a nice degenerate moment of being up way too late, and then all of a sudden I saw it, and I think it was probably an alpha post from you. Normally, whenever you post something, I immediately go and follow the accounts and then do my my due diligence afterwards. But it's nice to have more builders in the space. It's nice to have people who are just kind of willing to take advantage of layer one assets on Bitcoin and spread the capability of the community for really building on the biggest, most decentralized thing that runs the entirety of the crypto eco.
Right. I agree with you. And I'm going to segue into the question for Theresa by sharing this. This is the 8th witch commandment, and it's from Albus Dumbledore. It's not our abilities that show who we truly are, but our choices. So Theresa, you made a choice to get Bitcoin. We want to start this conversation by finding out from you how you got into Bitcoin. Your very first Bitcoin buy. What was it that drove you to make that choice? What was it?
Honestly, I'd heard of Bitcoin like forever ago, and then Nate, who's my best friend, and he's also on the team, he was the one who who's the reason why I'm in crypto in general. This was like years ago when we were at university. He actually was like talking about Ethereum, and I was just listening to that, and I was just like, I don't understand it. Like I don't want to be involved. But then I think it was 2021, at the beginning of 2021, he randomly was like, Bitcoin is going crazy, and I have like this wallet from like years ago where I had like a tiny little bit in it. Let me just check the wallet. And he checked it, and it was like, Bitcoin had gone up so much that it was like insane. And I was like, okay, so that's interesting, right? But I didn't really, I was still like quite like on the fence about it. And then, all the NFTs and everything on Ethereum, that like those boomed. And then me being an illustrator, an artist, Nate was like, yeah, you should do an NFT collection. And again, I was like, I don't understand this at all. The amount of times that the back and forth, where he had to explain to me and he had to convince me about crypto, it was definitely a learning curve. And yeah, we wanted to do an NFT collection actually, but we didn't end up doing that because we were quite close to launching it, but because of the crash that happened at the end of 2022, we kind of put it on the back burner. And so Nate was like not he was like not necessarily convinced of NFTs just because they were on Ethereum, because they are on Ethereum. But then when Ordinals came out, he was like, well, obviously that's it, because Bitcoin is the end all be all, right? So, the mother chain. So he kind of just like got me into that. And so the first time really I bought like Bitcoin was like last year, but I have been in crypto for like, years before that. And that was a lot of rambling, wasn't it? Sorry.
You're listening to Just Ordinals.
Just Ordinals.
No, it wasn't a lot of rambling. It was interesting hearing that story. It's different for everyone. It doesn't matter what you get, when you're getting, at what point you're getting. The most important thing is that you have actually gotten it. And for a lot of people, it's, what's it called? The originals gave them an entry into Bitcoin, right? So yeah, we're going to continue the chat. Feel free to reach the space, leave a comment in the comment section. And, we have a few spots that we'll be giving out on the spaces today. But let's see. Can everyone hear me? Some people are complaining that they can't hear me. Can you hear me? Oh yeah. So,
Hey, so far so good.
all
Yep,
right, good.
can hear you.
Good. So yeah, we're going to get into the conversation. I know that a lot of people here want to ask questions. I'm waiting for Airhead to get back on, but yeah, don't forget to get in, join the quest because it ends in 48 hours. and that would be an opportunity for you to earn some free XP. So yes, they are back on stage. But yeah, let's talk about you illustrating. You talked about your love for illustrating, and you worked on Cat VM, and talk to us about working on Cat VM and how maybe that got you to love Ordinals a little bit more, or talk to us about what that did for you.
Yeah, I mean, the wizards in general, they were quite, they were really the reason why I got into Ordinals, because of, they're magical and everything. And I have always liked Harry Potter. I'm like the biggest Harry Potter fan. So that kind of like was what got my attention then. And, so I didn't really know any of the technical stuff. And I have obviously been educating myself, and now I do feel it was very strange because, like I said before, it took me a while to get into all of it and actually be like passionate about it. And now I actually can't, sometimes I have these moments and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and I'm actually like so excited and so passionate about it. And when I was in Nashville for the Bitcoin conference, that's what really like made me excited about the space, meeting all of these people, and also like, yeah, just connecting with everyone. But so yeah, I have been like an illustrator for ages. And then when they contacted me, the Wizards, I mean, to work with them, it was like, first of all, I couldn't believe it, because they wanted to work with me. Like what? Like who am I? And then yeah, it was definitely like, yeah, an interesting experience because I'm not, I understand the tech part kind of, but that was like on a whole other level. And there's still some things in that book that I don't understand. And bringing their vision to life and bringing to life like what they're trying to do with tech was like, yeah, it was quite funny at times. The random requests that they had. But I really enjoyed it because I feel like it definitely helped myself to understand like everything better, and also other people, because it is quite like a complicated topic.
Right, I agree with you. But illustrating art, content, visual, whether visual or threads, actually helps a lot. It helps people understand more about Bitcoin, Ordinals, and setting other concepts. So I understand when you mentioned that, and I also appreciate the fact that also made you learn a lot more, because for you to be able to at least illustrate, you have to actually learn more about the concept that you're painting. So yeah, that's really good to hear that part of the story. Airhead Fun is back on stage, and one thing that struck me about Airhead was this particular phrase: solving rich oppression. What's the story behind the concept of rich oppression? Where did that even come from? When you hear people have conversations, they mention the poor as being oppressed, but now you have people saying, we have Airhead saying we are fighting against rich oppression. Talk to us about the story behind the concept of rich oppression.
Absolutely. Well, I first wanted to start off by saying, Airhead is all about creating an inclusive environment across all different body and wallet and portfolio sizes. And we noticed something that was a pretty big issue. And Arthur is a whale, and so he's very privy to these types of things that specifically target whales. And when it came to the Bitcoin ecosystem, people with a lot of ordinals, runes, and BRC20s, they really were oppressed. There were no really good wallets that you can use. The swap methods weren't nearly as sophisticated as other chains. People talked badly about them for taking risk on this. All the maximalists were making fun of them. And these are people who, are upholding the value of a reserve currency. They have a lot of their net worth in it. And they're being denigrated for just, experimenting with these new ecosystems. And so we figured, Airheads needs to flip the script. Like, we should create a collection that allows us to celebrate these people that take early risk on the ecosystems. And the people and whales that uphold the value of these collections, they're not bad people. And so, like lots of luxury objects, you create something that appeals to the game theory of, accruing lots of assets in whales and thinking about these ideas of inflation and fatness. Like fatness is really just a metaphor for wealth. It's accrued assets that are stored on your body in the form of calories. And, Bitcoin is a form of calorie money. It's just on-chain fat. And so we think that that should be celebrated in the same way that fat positivity is celebrated. Like regardless of your size or of your wallet, of your body, there should be a space for you, and everybody can flex with Airheads.
Oh wow! When I expected my co-host to chime in because I was sending him a DM, he didn't chime in. But yeah, that's really interesting, Ahead. It makes me wonder the kind of team behind this, like how brilliant they would have been to be able to turn that concept of, like being fat and all of that into translate it into Bitcoin, making it fun, but also making it an opportunity for everyone to be included and to learn more about how things work here. So we'll get deeper into more questions, but I'll let Stripes have a go at it. And if you're here, I've got Heritas giving us a few spots, but I've got a question for you, and it's from something that I had mentioned here while we started. So if you respond in the comments by the right bottom corner of the space, I'll be able to take one. I'll be able to give up to at least one person from there. What is the 8 which commandments? There are about 13 of them. What is the 8th one? Type it in the comments and we'll pick one person from that as we continue to have the conversation on the spaces today. Go ahead, Stripes.
No, thank you, Barbara. So, it's really interesting to see a lot of the I'd say projects and the groups and the communities that have really taken a foothold here in Ordinals to create the culture that's here currently. And I think that that's something that we kind of see as a problem across, whether it be NFTs on other chains or Ordinals here, right? The amount of culture that has a staying power that actually gets people interested and invites curiosity of others that want to come in. I think that's something that you guys have really done in an interesting way with Airheads. And even you just kind of explaining kind of like your thesis with the project. I guess if you were to, let me throw a good question at you, right? If you were to think about the culture that you want to cultivate here on Bitcoin, what is it that you want to tap into? Like, who are the individuals that you're mainly trying to connect with? Is it other builders? Is it other traders? Is there anything that you're looking at in particular prior to maybe like cultivating a larger community that would rep the Airhead as, either a PFP or an ordinal fan base?
Absolutely, and thank you so much. That's a really great question. So there is a pretty deep connection between oil dynamics and Airhead Fun. And I'm not going to go too deep into that, but we are working together, you could say, on a variety of different things. And so with Airhead, this is sort of like an entry point to creating a community. Like you think of the wallet is a utility. The wallet is electricity, but it's only cool to have electricity if you can do something like watch your cool show on Netflix or plug in your vibrator or something that actually works for you as a human being interacting on planet Earth and in culture. And so like the first thing we wanted to do with the art side was make Airhead a mirror of culture. The reality is there are a lot of obese people in culture, and so there are obese NFTs in our collection. There are men, women, intersex, otherwise, all represented in our collection. There are some that look like celebrities, that look like people in culture, and then there are different packages that overlay and twist the value on top of that. So like one is like really creating a close connection with culture and like what moves people. Bitcoin is a uniquely human invention. Only humans could create Bitcoin. And it's up to us to drive and experiment with these things at a deeper level. So like bring in culture, bring in some controversy, bringing real art on chain that's worth talking about and relatable to 2024, the moment. That's really important. And all of that is just a demonstration of our attitudes in general, which is about like seizing the moment and taking risk and exploring things at the cutting edge. And so something that Airhead and Oil Dynamics are very, very interested in is the future of meta protocols on Bitcoin and how those things all might connect. And so, you've seen things like Runestone, which was the pre-Rune, or some of these other ordinals collections which are going to be connected to broader meta protocols in the space. And we think Airhead could be an interesting entry point for people to not only have education around that, but maybe ways to interact with them too.
I think that's an incredible response, very thoughtful and very honestly thought-provoking. Like, I'm really excited to see what you guys are doing moving forward. So, hey, thank you for that. And Barbara, I'll throw it your way. Is there anything else that you would like to kind of chime in regards to that? Or maybe you had a separate question before we get to some of these hands?
Yeah, I have a separate question, but that's a segue from what Airhead had said. Thought-provoking things to do. It makes me wonder why Teresa actually utilized the mechanics with runes. There's these runes, it's a full moon, and then there's the other one, Spice Melange. I'm wondering why that strategy? How did you come up with that? Because I feel that it's a bit different from what we've seen so far. Airhead is doing something different. Taproot Witches have come and they're doing something entirely different. Why did you utilize that? Teresa, that's for you?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, first of all, you know, we've been working for this, on this for ages, on this collection. And, we wanted, you know, like to, basically just, you know, to make it as successful as it can be with like, using, you know, all the technology that has, kind of like come out. This is why, you know, we're like using recursion, and also when runes came out, we were like, we need to do something with that. And we kind of thought that it'd be like a good way, like a good kind of new way of launching a collection. And obviously we'd already inscribed the first parent or grandparent witch actually, and that and then so from there on we're gonna do, you know, like the whole collection. And it just made sense to inscribe the parent of the collection and actually make that like the rune, because that rune is actually the parent of the collection, so it really is like all connected. And obviously the, you know, obviously I'm talking about It's a Full Moon, not Spice Melange now. And It's Full Moon, it just like that saying itself just works so well. And because of because we, you know, because of crypto and the moon, they are like interlinked. Because, you know, you say we're going to the moon, but now obviously we can say we're going to the full moon, and because obviously the whole collection is based around the moon. It just works, and we kind of want to wanted to find a way of interlinking runes and ordinals, and yeah, that's how we decided to do it. And then obviously this isn't just so people can get on a whitelist. You know, It's a Full Moon, it has utility beyond this for our future plans as well.
Right. There's a lore. What I'm getting from the entire project is there's a lore behind it. It's not just a project that is existing on its own. So there's an entire story that is unfolding with all these pieces, with the runes that people are minting and the other things that will come along the way. So I'm interested in finding out how that lore will develop. But there are tons of people on stage, and it will be absolutely selfish of me to not let folks here ask questions or make some contributions. We're gonna start going to the hands, and then we're throwing more questions. So if you've got any questions for Airhead Fun, if you've been garnering XPs, or if you're so poor that you've not been able to get any, you can talk to Airhead Fun right now, and you can also ask Teresa more questions. I do not know if Teresa takes questions about getting whitelist. A lot of people do not like it, like getting up on stage and say, "Give me whitelist." That's she's just giving a thumbs down already. So please don't do that when you get up on stage. We'll start with Jern, and then we'll move on to General Saw. Hey, Jern, how are you?
Good, you give whitelist. You can I have a whitelist, please? Whitelist, please. You please don't do anything. You please. All right, Gem fam, Gem. I had to do it. I had to do it.
Yeah, I was
He
gonna
just
kick you
said,
off for a minute.
Jim. No, like actually, I was just scrolling on Twitter and then I saw that you had a space with two very interesting projects, and I even put a reminder myself. And now when it was on, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna listen to this." Um, and then just by reflex, I put myself as a speaker. I just requested, but I don't have much to say. Um, well, I just gotta say, Airhead, man, I'm very, very excited about what they're cooking. I think people uh, gotta take more and more notice. And Taproot, which is me and Teresa, we're also maybe doing a space soon because I'm not sure if anyway, I don't want to say too much, but a very interesting I'm space. I don't want to spoil too much. So, Barbara, you're killing it. I don't really have questions. I just wanted to say this.
Thank you so much, Jern. It will be a pleasure to have you chat on Just Ordinals about Inscripedia, but we'll set a date for that. I'm going to send you a DM and we can talk further because I love what you're doing as well. So
Of
thank you
course.
so much
Of
for being
course.
on
Now,
stage.
I could always talk about Encyclopedia. Also, the people inside my Discord, I put a little alpha today about the supply and the min price of the collection of season 0. So yesterday I told everyone inside the Discord the supply and min price. If you guys actually, I can say it right here in the space. So because they already know. Um, so the supply of season 0. So I know I'm not is in invite, but like that is alpha. I don't care. So the supply is 3,000, and the min price is 0.00069 BTC, so it's like $40. So go follow Scarpedia and go do all that thing. That is also alpha. But now back to the current alpha with Airheads and Tapu Witches.
That's right. You get alpha updates when you tune in to Just Ordinals. So thank you so much, Jern, for sharing that alpha with us. And over to you, General Sa. How are you, my friend?
Hello, hello. Nice to see everyone here. It's a big crowd. Thank you, Barbara, for having me up. Thank you for getting Airhead on and Taproot Witches on. I've got a question for Air, actually, first before Taproot Witches. Honest to God, I have not heard of Airhead until today, so thank God for the spaces. But initially, I was thinking about the explanation that Airhead gave, and I was like, "What kind of waffle is this?" But hold on, hear me out, And then obviously me thinking that wow, this is a new project. They're coming out of nowhere, and now this is the explanation, trying to match fatness with Bitcoin being rich and stuff like that. But then I looked at L Taker's thread, so I immediately went to do some research. I don't know if you guys know L Taker. His at is LTakerWJ, and I've actually just retweeted his thread, so you can go and pin it on this chat. But he's broken down Airhead's intentions, projects, and their oil wallet as well, the function of that. And I was just gonna ask you, Airhead. That's first of all, it's an incredible thread, and it's very, very thought through. And L Taker's taken a lot of time to delve into the project. But I was just thinking, can you provide a bigger explanation and a better explanation on why we would want to use Oil Wallet? Is it part of your project, or is it part of your partnership? And when we put money into Oil Wallet, obviously we see the stages go from stage 1 to stage 10 inflation, meaning more fatness. And obviously stage 10, I assume, will be the most rare NFTs because you've got the most money in the wallet. I think that's a brilliant way to go about your project. It's very new, very, very innovative, very novel. I like that. But can you please kind of expand on the Oil Wallet? Because I think that's very, very interesting.
Yeah, of course. So a lot of this entire Airheads experience with Arthur co-launching it, to be transparent, Arthur is an investor in Oil Wallet. And the idea was, okay, Arthur was very interested in ordinals, and his entire investor team was trying to figure out where is the best way that I can make an investment so that Arthur and his team can make an impact in the Bitcoin space. And they decided the only investment they made in the ordinal space is Oil Wallet, and they invested with them. So That's like transparently what the connection is there. And so it is a growth strategy that works on both, towards the ends of Airhead and advancing that, but also Oil Dynamics roadmap of, they have an infrastructure suite called like Sandshrew and Metashrew that enables you to deploy indexers and effectively host meta protocols on Bitcoin and get ordinals and runes data. And then they have a wallet that they built on using their own infrastructure that's like super advanced. So the wallet does a bunch of really cool things. Like, again, it's backed by all these prominent investors. Domo's an advisor, Udi's an advisor, Arthi's an advisor, and it's been audited by Halburn. It's fully non-custodial. And the wallet, it's really special. So not only is it a beautiful desktop Chrome extension, but it has like really easy onboarding UX. It has a beautiful UI. And the most powerful thing is the in-wallet aggregator. So Oil Wallet, you can buy ordinals, BRC20 and runes, and you can batch buy them in a single click all within the wallet. So it does that by aggregating marketplaces like OKX and Unisat and Ordinals Wallet and adding Magisat and others. And that means that like all within the wallet, one click, you can sweep pups, you can sweep BRC20s, runes, ordinals, literally anything that you want. And so that's a really special value prop. And Oil is also built on top of that, their own infrastructure and the indexing stack. So they're working on a bunch of projects like this Proto-Rune standard, which is a way to build programmability on top of runes. And their wallet is really well positioned for like interacting with this next wave of meta protocols that rely on the indexer layer. So what Oil Wallet is showing with this Airheads experience is really just like getting your foot in the door to what this ecosystem is going to unlock. For the first time ever, you have a whitelisting, dynamic game, and minting experience all within the wallet with no marketplace not required. And so that's just the tip of the spear of what they're going to show you experience-wise. But it also has like really good, it's the only wallet that has a transaction feed where you can see your history of transactions. Instead of it just showing Bitcoin send, receive, it'll show you sent BRC20, received BRC20. It has like a transaction monitor dynamic island. Like immediately when you send assets over, it pops up there the second there's been one confirmation. And so it's trying to like upgrade the Bitcoin experience in general. And Airheads is for like trying to discover those most high intent users that care and will take early risk on this and take them along for the ride.
That's incredible. I think that's one or two factors that you mentioned about Oil Wallet that Xverse doesn't have, and obviously I'm an Xverse user, and yeah, that's quite, it's seeking out the point, and I really appreciate the explanation, and I think that it's a really, really interesting concept and project. So thank you for that. And Teresa, one for you. we were I don't know, this it's a full moon, and the other rune, what was it called?
Spice Milan.
Spice Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those, I think that's incredible. First of all, the fact that it's brought back the runes market a little bit in terms of like it's piqued everyone's interest. Oh shit, something's going on cooking in runes. And well done for that, first of all, for both of them minting out and doing multiples of value. So I did miss out on that, so that's why I'm FOMOing. But can you probably have an explanation or any alpha on what's I know obviously some of them secure a whitelist spot and stuff like that, but is there any plan ahead of that for these two runes?
Yeah, so well, thank you. First of all, it's been crazy to see the runes go up, and or something that, sorry, it's not necessarily related to this question, but I wanted to mention anyway with the runes, is that what we're really excited about is that people, who buy like shitcoins and stuff and who are like into runes, like have actually used this as an entry to get into ordinals, which is like really cool. We've had so many people in Discord being like, yeah, I just saw the rune like rank on Magic Eden, and I just decided to get in on it, and then I realized it's related to this Ordinals project, and this is like my first Ordinals project, and that's like what I was saying before, that we wanted to like link it. Sorry, I know it's not necessarily related, but I just wanted to mention it because I remembered it. I remembered that I didn't say that. But yeah, and we do have utility beyond obviously getting whitelist spots. So Spice Melange is connected to the witches, but Um, it is gonna be like, oh god, I'm so excited about it, but I can't even tell you yet. Sorry. But it has like, yeah, it's not just connected to the witches. It's gonna be something for like for like just Ordinals projects in general. It's gonna have utility for Ordinals projects in general, not just our witches, but other ones. And it's a full moon. I kind of say it's kind of like the currency of the witches. And it will unlock stuff like afterwards, after the mint, in the future, for the stuff that we have planned with the witches, because obviously it's not just an Ordinals collection, it's an entire universe that we are trying to build. And yeah, so the It's a Full Moon will unlock things. I can't really say more than that. Sorry, at the moment.
I like the fact that it would unlock things. I'm excited about it. You can speculate. You can speculate. Speculation is how we actually thrive here in the space if we just like keep speculating. So thank you so much, General Saw, for that brilliant question. The one for Airhead Fun and the one for Teresa. I actually have used Oil Wallet, and when Airhead was explaining it just reminded me of the earlier today. I was just sending dog to my wallet, and then he showed me that Dog to the Moon was coming into the wallet, and I thought that was really incredible. Like, exactly what is coming in. I also explored it a lot. I was trying to find the content I had made using Oil Wallet, but I can't find it now. I would have pinned it up on the spaces. So thank you so much. I'm going to go to Alpha Gamer. They're going to ask a question, and then I have a pretty interesting question for a headphone. Go
Hey
ahead,
Barbara,
Alpha.
just real quick, I wanted to
Yo,
step in.
oh,
If you get shuffled around, I promise I don't hit you. I'm just trying to get other people up here that may have questions. Love you. If you have a question, throw your hand up.
yo, how's it going, everyone? Um, yeah, I just had a couple of questions for each project, actually. So I was actually very early into both, but I'll start with Teresa with the Taproot Witches. So I already have my 25,000 of your rune for the guarantee stage 1, but it's currently in a Magic Eden wallet. Is that going to be an issue? Because I haven't seen anywhere where you're actually minting from. Is that from your own site on Magic Eden, or like, you know what I mean? Like, will there be an issue if it's all in Magic Eden wallet, or do I have to transfer it to an X first?
No. It won't be an issue. We are actually using Magic Eden as our launch pad as well. So that's fine. And we are yeah, any wallet that is compatible with Ordinals is fine.
Oh, okay, awesome. And then, well, I guess it doesn't really it doesn't matter to me about the snapshot because right, I'm just letting that 25,000 just sit in there. Um, so then essentially I'm just good to go, right? Or when will there be a wallet checker for eligibility, or that's probably in the works?
Yes. So we are doing a snapshot coming up to the mint like a few days beforehand, probably like so obviously the mint is like tomorrow in a week. And we'll probably do that like on Sunday or Monday. We will announce it, and then we will have a wallet checker as well. We're just setting that up now. So yeah, and so just
Okay,
stay tuned for announcements.
awesome. Thank you so much, Teresa. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Again, I've been in super early, got in with all my Nookie brethren. So yeah, looking forward to it. For Airheads, again, I was super. I guess you could say I'm that DJ that takes the leap of faith first before everyone else. Because when I first went into your oil wallet, I was literally like the top 20. I was bedridden for a long time until other people started finding out about it, the project, right? And then I started seeing my rank slowly go up and up. Um, so I will say that there is an interesting dynamic of that status checker, for the fatness that you're talking about. And what I found interesting about it, which was kind of a byproduct, was I can actually see the demand for the project growing with that status checker. right? So because I was so early and because I was basically one of the first whales in this project, and then by just simply holding my asset and then seeing my rank number just keep going higher and higher, essentially that means that more and more people are depositing their assets into the wallet, which gave me more conviction and faith of, oh, okay, like this, if more people are piling in after me, then it gives me more conviction of, oh, okay, so this should be good. The other thing that someone else just brought up also is when you look at the white paper, or just the site itself, it actually shows Udi's name and Domo's name together on the wallet. So for me, that's kind of what gave me that extra push, to make that leap of faith. Because I saw those two big names, I'm like thinking, oh, okay, well these guys know how to make a wallet. So that's where I was like, oh, okay, this should be good. Um, you were saying earlier about get the quests, right? Getting experience points. So if I was bedridden this whole time, and actually I just checked it because I saw your last post, right, about retweeting for the current quest, and I'm still holding my whale status. So when do those experience points get updated into the wallet itself? That's for
For
Airhead.
sure, yeah. Well, thanks so much for playing and fucking around with it. And it's about to get crazier. Like that experience, that FOMO of your rank moving down and demand coming on. That's going to continue to happen, and it's going to increase a lot as we start running collabs, experience points, and layer whale pass on top of that, which is a whole other entree. So yeah, that's the basic system there. I mean, another thing that people don't necessarily realize about XP is in terms of BRC20 and runes, the XP is based on the Bitcoin value of that. So if the token that you're holding goes up in value, you earn more XP, and so you can sort of ride the wave of those markets and communities as well, which is built into the volatility and the fun crypto game that we all play. Um, did you mind reminding me
So
what your question
yeah,
was?
so essentially, because I was one of the first bedridden whales on your wallet, like,
Yeah.
is there an incentive, or so you're saying the incentive is I'm gonna get
So,
bonus
gotcha.
bonus
Yeah,
XP
I'll
for
go.
being one of the first whales
Sure,
on the
sure.
wallet?
Yeah, so I'll how this works is there is an open leaderboard right now. The whitelist is open to the public. Anybody can get into it. But what's going to happen is the people with the lowest amount of XP are going to get bumped out. And so right now there are over, I think 11,500 entries onto the whitelist, but only 10,000 of those are going to receive NFTs. And a lot of those might have 0 XP, which means they're just going to get bumped out. So you think about this like quest-like experience. And that you get, everyone's going to get double. So that means that about 1,500 people are going to get 1,200 something or everybody except the bedriddens who are way except, but the bedriddens can also participate in this. So this is where the big shuffle is going to happen. And location, the there's each quest will have a defined period. So I'll say it's 24 hours where I describe something and send it somewhere. And after the defined period, there'll probably be a couple hours until I update the script with the taproot addresses and the earned XP, and then I can batch that XP out, and then you'll see it pop up in your Oil Wallet XP interface. It'll say additional XP, and it'll say social quests, and it'll show you how much and what date you earned that. And then every single time you earn XP, you can continue to see that go up. And so if you think about this more abstractly, I have sequentially everybody who joined in order. I know how much XP they've had at every single phase. I know their Twitter handles. I know if they've been engaging. I know if they haven't been engaging. I know if they did the type form. I know if they did it well. I know if they did the second type form. I've got a decent amount of information. I also know how much assets are in their wallet. Like there's There's a lot of ingredients that we have to play with here. So there may be a future reward where maybe the first 250 or the first 1,000 people who join the whitelist earn a certain amount of XP. Anything can happen, and Airhead is watching.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, for explaining all that. Yeah, because that's pretty awesome that you're gonna essentially reward the early whales, right? That took a chance and put essentially, like, I took my OMB and threw it into that wallet. Like, I was kind of nervous. I ain't gonna lie. New wallet. I'm throwing in my OMB into it. So yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you for the information.
Thank you so much. We're gonna give other people the opportunity to speak. I think it'll be good if we are able to accommodate everyone who's up on stage. So it'll be great to keep it short, I guess. Hey Satoshis, how are you? Are you there? Okay, not there. So we've got Droby. Droby, go ahead.
Hello guys. Hello Barbara. I'm happy to hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I'm glad to be at this AMA. I have one question that worries me about how you cope with such a load. This question to Teresa. The recent hype has fallen on you, and I'm sure you don't have time to answer on all the messages and inquiries that you receive in the past few days. And also I know you have a small team, and I have a question. How can you connect it with your community? And also I have a small question for Airhead. I hear that you connected with Arthur Hayes, so I would like to know about the price, if this is not classified information at this stage. Thank you.
Should I go first? So yeah, it's been like insane, and I feel like that's what I do most of the time, is just like answering questions. But yeah, connecting with the community. I'm always in a Discord, even if I don't reply to messages, in a Discord server, even if I don't reply to the general chat. The High Witch is always watching. We say this, I say this in a Discord, and it is the truth. And obviously now, we've gotten, help with our mods, and, we are going to take on some more, because the general chat is like insane and really cheap. And this isn't like, not me, because I don't have like much time, but like, it's just in general hard to keep up with it, because there's so many messages. So we've kind of now separated the whole, everything into like smaller chats, and that really helps to just like manage everything, and it helps me connect with the community in the different chats as well. And it is like non-stop. It's like I said, it's like we didn't expect it. I love it though. It's a lot of work, but it's really exciting, and the whole thing kind of literally feels surreal still. Like, I wake up in the morning, if I do sleep, that is, and I'm just like, what is happening, and I have actually, made some great friends in the community, just from talking to them in the Discord and stuff. And obviously, when it comes to like project, the community is the most important part. There is no project, there is no collection if there isn't a good community. And that is like the main focus of our project. So, we do try to, connect with everyone. Although right now, obviously, things are just crazy because we are so close to the launch. Once the actual mint is over, we can really focus on the community then. Now we still need to obviously iron out some things.
You're listening to Just Ordinals.
Just Ordinals.
Thank you to everyone who's come up on stage so far. We appreciate you and the questions that you have asked. I'm going to say hello to Bless. Bless is the man who spent 7 days fasting and sculpting in this room. It was something historical. It's never been done before here. And I want to say hello and see if Bless has anything to contribute. Hey, Bless, how are you?
Hey, what up, Barbara? You know what? I like that you have seven. You know, we were seven brothers, sisters, seven siblings, whatever. But, yeah, I'm just popping in. I really like the art on this, like, Airhead collection, and I'm glad more people are creating things that look great on chain. I'm, pretty fucking excited to see like a lot of different people step up, and like just create more things. Because what's happening obviously when the vibes are down is that nobody wants to mint because everybody's scared to mint. Everybody's scared to put out anything. But one of the things I will say is that not everything has to be sold right away. You can inscribe some stuff, make videos, make an article, make things that people can look at, and it doesn't have to be all like uh right to mint, right to like Magic Eden, so we can like all buy it. Like things can you can just create things and show it off, and that even that progresses the space. Because when I did the 7 day thing, I knew I wasn't gonna like just go right away and do like a collection drop right after. It's something that's gonna take a little bit of time because I gotta clean things up and the sculptures. But I I just wanted to do something that everything was the vibes were down. People were like bored. Runes wasn't what we thought it was gonna be. So uh yeah, bro, I was like, fuck it, let's full send on artwork and let's make sure people pay attention to the artists on Bitcoin. So I'm glad people are stepping up, still doing cool shit, and I'm happy to just be around. Shout out to you, Barbara, because like your space is looking pretty cool, and I like your updates all the time. I actually feel like that's very essential. Like if more, I know like I don't want more people to I don't want people to competition or anything, but if more people are like you, just creating content, and it'd be kind of good, because I need I need more shit to look at. I can't just look at drama all day. And if I like people that are informational and like also educational. So yeah, that's what I've been. Oh, you know what? And if you haven't looked at this is like the last show. If you haven't looked at ZK Substack, check it out because pretty cool stuff on there. I got really into the Bit Act and then like solo mining and all that. I've been like really messing with that lately just because of the article. I never even thought of like, oh, I can have like a little mini miner. I knew I could have a lottery miner. I was like, damn, I gotta put this together. But obviously ZK's been working in the background I didn't even know. He's been working in the background, making sure like we have access to these like little lottery miners that if you haven't like looked into the Substack and like what the mentality behind it, it's not to like really take over like the big mining pools. It's just like decentralize Bitcoin more. And I think that to me it's like making sure it's secure. Like he even talked about a scenario where like imagine the grids of these big mining pools, they suck so much power that when something happens, sometimes they have to like really switch things around and mess with things. Like imagine like things shut down and like the city's like, nah, you can't mine right now or whatever. These little mining solo pools or whatever, like these little solo miners can like contribute to like, keeping Bitcoin secure when like, you can power it with the solar power, you can power everything, and the technology is progressing fast. So I really think that was a pretty cool motivation to like start. I think ZK's motivation behind that was just to like educate people, and if you haven't looked into it, I suggest really reading that. It's definitely helpful to know what you're doing because we all care about these JPEGs for whatever reason. These whatever assets you have, we care about, it. And so you might as well learn about how to secure them better. So that's all I got for you guys.
Thank you. I just wanted to milk one more alpha from you before you go, which is about remember when you talked about having a company with a lot of money come together, that you had this brilliant idea and then you were going to get some artists to do really cool things and
Oh,
have a free
you,
mint?
you
Yeah,
want that alpha?
talk to us. Have you gotten any company interested in that yet? And are we going to get like a 10K free mint to save us all?
You know what's funny? I actually got it that day. I've got reached out to that day. You know what? After like you spending 7 days in a warehouse sculpting and not eating, you know, and then just live stream it to X, like people start realizing like that your crazy ideas, you know, you can actually accomplish them. So, I as soon as I said it, I got people reaching out right away. I got a lot of companies actually reaching out right away, but the main one I wanted to work with is we're talking actually in like a really progressive way. And so I think things are going to move forward with that. And there's also going to be opportunity for the community to contribute. Um, if people don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much the other day I tweeted out, yo, if there's any big company that wants to like sponsor a collection from all the best artists on Ordinals or all the artists you know, like anybody that I think can be like a historic on Ordinals. There's some artists that people don't really know but I think would be cool to have in this collection. Like imagine out of nowhere the actual Node Monks artist comes out and is like, "Yo, I'm down to contribute something." You know, it's just little things like that that I think could be historic. I don't know. Anyways, I said, "Let me know." And so the idea behind this is that I wanted to do a free mint, but I also don't want to force artists to like make trades for free, right? The whole thing behind this is we're you know I'm an artist myself, so I'm not in the space where I'm gonna ask my friends like, yo, can you please do this for free for me so we can do this free mint so other people can make a bunch of like money from the hype. Like, no, man, let's get these artists paid, even if it's whatever amount I wanted to do, and then so we're gonna use the money to inscribe the traits and then to air whatever to mint. The company I'm working with is they're pretty known for already knowing what to do in the Ordinal space. So they're pretty on it. They're gonna lend me their resources, and then we're working together. But this is all gonna be a community driven like pretty much collection. I'm just like guiding it, but I'm making sure that there's opportunities for, let's say there's artists that haven't had that much shine. I definitely want to decentralize a little bit, like part of like the process of like of choosing the artist, like or a couple artists at least, to fill the spots. And it would be cool to have maybe someone who's unknown, or maybe they're known and they just want to have like a pseudonym, submit some artwork and then we can vote those in. So there's a lot of little ideas that are coming to fruition. But yeah, I just made this tweet not like less than a week ago, and things are going very well. So I want to bring the vibes up. The whole point of this is like, yo, free mints. Think about all the things that have happened in the Ordinal space that brought the vibes up. It was BRC20, LXBT. Say whatever you want, but LXBT was it was technically a free mint. You just paid the gas fees or whatever. And yeah, dude, like there's a lot of different like time, like people paid attention to Ordinals, but they've been tokens, they've been things that we all know, like tokens are, well, they're necessary, but they they definitely go down. They go up and they go down when there's nothing else attached to them. So something like this, I think, would be like a really cool long-term vision, because it's documenting artists within the space, and it's not something that is just gonna it's definitely obviously gonna fluctuate, but it's gonna start as a free mint. So there's no negatives to this. We're just fucking raising money, and we're just being transparent about where the money is going to, and we're gonna pay the artists, and we're gonna fucking try to bring the vibes up. So that's the alpha. Just if you want to be part of that, or even just pay attention to when it does drop. Just like, I guess you can just follow me, and then one day I can come back here, Barbara, and spread more alpha. But for now, it's just, yeah, the idea is moving forward is what I'll tell you guys. And it's moving forward very, very seriously.
Thank you so much. That's an alpha. Another alpha here on Just Ordinal Spaces. I appreciate you. I see Troy down there in the audience. Troy was one of the first people who actually came on of the spaces when we usually would have like 3 people listening in the audience. And my friend Sly would always be there. We usually have like 3 or 4 people in the spaces. And it's insane the number of people that we have here. It means that we are constantly growing in the Ordinals ecosystem, and we love that is happening. So thank you so much, Bless, for sharing that. We are going to take a couple more questions, and then we'll get set to wrap up the space today. But first, the first spot to Taproot, which is goes to Lufai, who was the first person to actually drop the 8 witch commandments. So congratulations to you. We've got 2 more to go. One is going to the co-host Stripes. So we only have 1 more left. We do not know who that lucky person is going to be, but I do hope that you get it. If you don't get it, I've got a couple more spots to other projects that I can give you. So feel free to just keep leaving the comments in the right bottom corner of the space, and I will definitely pick one person. So let's talk about Airhead Fun is back up. I wanted to talk about this because it's absolutely important. Proto runes, programmability on runes, right? If we take a look at the history of the founder of Airhead, Arthur Hayes, and we take a look at the history of Oil Wallets and what they're building, Oil Dynamics, what they're building with Proto Runes, the love that Arthur has for runes makes me wonder if Airhead Fun is going to do something alongside runes. Apart from the Ordinals collection that is coming, to have anything you're working on around proto runes, programmability, whatever, but do you have any link with runes?
Well, runes have the highest multiplier for a reason. Also, there's not much you can do with runes, so let's be honest. Like, just send them to your oil wall and earn XP. There's really no reason not to. That's runes. In terms of proto runes, for anyone who doesn't know about it, is a standard which is built on an indexer model of expanding programmability of runes. And on top of that standard, there are many, many very interesting things that can be developed and built on top of that. And that's all I'll say to that point, but there's deep interest in like the meta protocol space and how you can expand runes just as an issuance layer, and then what do you do with the tokens after. So more to come on that.
Thank you so much for responding to that. We'll go over to the hands, Happy Billions, right after you. We've got Michael, and then we'll take Leslie and a few other questions. Happy Billions?
Good day, everyone. I don't know. Today just feels quite different. Kind of nervous, but let me just go on. So,
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
Michael, you go after Happy Billions is John.
So, first of all, let me direct the question to Taproot, which is, so basically, I just want to know, like, what are your long-term goals for Taproot community? That's my first question. And also with the hype and everything, okay, all of a sudden we just started seeing Taproot switches on the timeline and everything. So what are your plans post Mint and even before Mint? Because at the moment I could only see the Runes project and the art. I have not seen anything else. So that's just one ask at the moment. So please could you like share more insight? Thank you.
Well, so we're going to, our plan is to bring together the ordinals and the wider Bitcoin community in like a way that's never seen before. Like basically you've seen nothing yet, let's just say that, considering our plans. And we have, like, I know I keep saying this, but we have been just like working on this for a long time, 1.5 years. So this isn't just like, we're not just gonna launch a collection and like that's it. No, the witches are like, although they will be probably like the project that'll be like most, like the part of our project that'll be most well known, because this is what we're starting out with and it's quite iconic. It is like just a small part of the of the kind of universe that we're building. And then obviously it's just part of like the bigger picture basically. And then for the next week, obviously the Mint is tomorrow in a week, so we have quite a few competitions coming up, spaces basically every day now with different people. Really excited about some of the people that we're gonna have spaces with. And yeah, competitions. Then Friday, just so you know how like 13 is like a magical number, and we kind of like, yeah, we've got our 13 honorary witches, and we have 13 million. It's a full moon. Friday is Friday the 13th. So, stay tuned for that, because we've got some things planned then as well. Yeah. Is that,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, is that everything you wanted to know?
Oh, no, sorry. Okay, that's nice. And also, sorry, as the creator of Quantum Cards, if I'm not wrong, like was it the arts? Like, what inspired you to create Taproot Wizard? And yeah, what inspired you to create Taproot Wizard? And also, do you like have any connection with, sorry, what inspired you to create Taproot Witches rather? And do you have connection with Taproot Wizard? Because from the arts and everything, it's kind of like relates with Taproot Wizards art. Is there a connection between you two? Like, are they the one backing you? Are they the one funding you in any way? And also, as a digital illustrator, like you said, like, has it impacted you in any way in creating Taproot Wizard? Taproot Witch, sorry. Yep.
So we are not officially affiliated with the Wizards. Obviously, we were inspired by them, and we are kind of like a companion project, but we are like standing on our own 2 feet. This is why we're like, some of the stuff that we're doing is like completely different. Obviously our witches are lunar calendars. We are using our own tech that is quite new, that nobody else has used, tying our ordinals to the lunar cycle, making them dynamically change. And the Wizards do, because obviously I have worked with them on the Quantum Cats white paper. They do know about the Taproot Witches before we even announced it publicly. I told them about it in our group chat because I wanted to be transparent about it, and they all loved they all love it. They love the concept. They're quite stoked about the moon, they're dynamically evolving or dynamically changing, and they support the project, and they all want to have a witch.
Every
Okay.
week, the witch. Thank you so much, Happy Billions, for asking those questions. We're getting set to wrap it up, so we'll move to the next person, Leslie. Leslie, go ahead. Oh, sorry. Oh my bad. Michael is meant to
Oh,
go.
hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yeah. Go ahead, Michael. Yeah, we can hear you.
Stream is so laggy, I don't know. Okay, so hello everyone. Hello Airhead. Hello Teresa. Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
Michael. Michael, this is your 2 minutes of fame.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? Please, stream is very laggy. Okay. I have a question for Teresa and Airhead. About your future plans. Do you plan to do any collaboration or maybe a special Airhead quest related to Taproot Witches, or maybe a custom Airhead PvP in Taproot Witches collection? So some kind of this question. Thank you.
I mean, we haven't planned anything like that. Have we? So, but maybe we can. I don't know. Maybe we will in the future. We'll see.
That's interesting. I like that Michael is trying to establish some partnership right on stage. I love it. I mean, things like this happen. Thank you so much, Michael, for asking that question. That's interesting. Maybe I don't know why. Yeah. I'm just having a couple of ideas pop in my head as well. Leslie, over to you. Are you there?
Collab right now, please. Collab right now.
Michael isn't giving up on this. Hey, Leslie. Oof. I'm sorry. Can't hear you. Probably rugging.
Hi, everyone.
Ooh,
Can you
finally.
hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it's from my side. I think when Barbara is speaking, I can't hear her, but when someone else is speaking, I can hear them. Okay. It's good to be here. I have a few questions for Airhead and then maybe one question for Teresa. So, this is actually my first time hearing in details what Airhead is all about, and thank you, Barbara, for hosting this space. So I got to find out about your wallet, the oil wallet today, and seeing as it's connected to the SP and all of that, even though it has other features like Bitcoin rooms and stuff, I still wanted to ask you how you plan to sustain long-term usage after you launch, since the oil wallet is kind of like connected to the getting whitelist and SP. So how do you plan to get users to still use the wallet even after the project launches, since there are like other wallets out there like Xverse or Magic Eden Wallet?
Simply by being the best. We will see.
All right. Very straightforward. Okay. And one last question. I wanted to ask how what you would use to, or what you're expecting from the project after it launches, like key milestones you aim to achieve after launch.
The roadmap is definitely a bit of a surprise. Right now we're focused on getting the collection out, but Arthur has some interesting ideas, and there are a bunch of communities interested in doing some expanded things. I think as the Whale Pass comes out, it'll give a little bit more of a signal of how the collection is tied to broader oil ecosystem works. But I think for now, the goal is to like inflate and get as fat as you can. And just like Bitcoin, we're all loading up our bags. We don't really know where it's going. Airhead is the game to inflate. If you can flex it, only place where you can play it.
All right. Thank you. Okay, my last question is for Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Good to speak to you again.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask, Barbara said the stuff about the eighth commandment and the witches commandments from the manifesto. So I just wanted to ask, because I've been reading that when I wrote my thread and stuff, but now when I revisited the manifesto and I read the commandments, it was actually kind of funny. So I wanted to know how you actually came up with the entire list, the 13 of them, like what inspired that? Because it's kind of whimsical. How did you come up with that?
Actually, it's been it's been an evolving list. Over the past 1.5 years, almost 1.5 years that we've been working on this, we've been trying to create this universe and trying to figure out how we want the witches to be perceived, and how we want the community to be. And we just have been collecting ways of saying things, magical sayings, and coming up with stuff. For example, our first commandment is like the moon is our utility. It was just like a random thing. We were just talking about it, and about the utility of our project, and I just randomly was like, well, yeah, the moon is our utility, and it just works perfectly, doesn't it? Because of obviously everything that we do is connected to the moon. And the other commandments, they've just I don't know, they've just evolved over time. And obviously it's 13 because 13 is our magical number. I know I keep saying this. And we just think it's kind of funny. It's, we can use these commandments as catchphrases, and yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do get you. The commandments do align with the branding of Taproot Witches, and yeah, it does make a lot of sense. Thank you so much for answering my questions, and thank you for bringing me up, Barbara and Stripes.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Brilliant questions over there. I'll hand over to Stripes, who's going to let Sling Banner up.
Yeah, my phone is kind of glitching out. Slim Bino, are you there? Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
I can definitely hear you. What's up, Stripes? What's up, Barbara, man?
Go
Great show, great show.
go ahead, man.
Great show. What's up, stage? I just had a quick question for Airheads. Honk, honk. I gotta get that out of the way too while I'm here. Everybody know what that is. Coming soon to Fractal. But, Airheads, I had a question as far as, your XP points. Will you be opening it up to other projects soon? I saw hints at it, but honk, honk, like you opening it to any other projects? Honk, honk.
I am definitely in contact with the goose, and yes, we can honk about it. There are going to be more that are expanded, currently expanded on top of the website. We've added, and Barbara reported this recently, Liquidium token, which is the rune for Liquidium. We also added Billy Dollar Cats. And there was one more. Oh, Pizza Ninjas also now eligible for 10,000 XP bonus as well. So what I'm trying to do is put together like another tier of ordinals, like maybe a group of 5 that are maybe eligible for 1,000 XP per pop. And then potentially expand a few BRC20s and runes before the end. Although, there will be quests and there will be time to grow the communities throughout the whitelist experience. So things are definitely just picking up now.
That's what's up, man. It sound good, man. It sound like an interesting cook, as well as Taproot Witches. We all looking forward to it, and man, I ain't gonna hold everybody up, man. Great show, Strikes and Barbara.
Palm, I love your voice. Absolutely amazing. I'm just over here, just listening. Like, I wish you could just keep talking, but yeah, I need to move on with the spaces. Stripes has a monologue. No, not a monologue. Stripe has something to say before we wrap up the spaces. I also have two more questions, one for Teresa and one for Ahead, but I'll let Stripes go on first.
No, it's all good. All I wanted to say is, thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you so much, Airheads, for coming up. We appreciate your time and what you guys are doing in the space, right? The more builders, the more creators that are here is really what kind of drives our attention economy forward. Barbara, I appreciate you giving me the Taproot Witches whitelist, but I think I just wanted to give it out right. We had so many people here, such great amount of people and such great questions. I was looking at the retweets of the space and I just kind of scrolled through and I just stopped my phone on at GM_Holly_. If you shoot me your address, then you've got my whitelist. I just appreciate everybody kind of coming up here and, running this space back. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope everybody kind of shows up next time because we're going to keep running it back because we constantly want to find the alpha of what's going on in this ecosystem. Barbara, thank you so much again. I'm throwing it your way.
Thank you, Stripes. And this is why I love Stripes. He always does this, always gives his pot out. Appreciate you for doing that. We've got one last pot, and someone had mentioned in the comments you should go to a lady. So, when I checked the comments in response to the question asked, there's one more lady, and that goes to Madison Oliver. So congratulations to you, Madison. Send your address and we'll send them over to Teresa. Thank you so much. So Teresa, there's a very important question about what happens after the mint fund has been raised. What happens to that? What do you plan to do with that? X had typed that question, so I thought it's very important to actually ask her.
Yeah. So, we are gonna use the funds basically to just invest back into the project and reward our holders as well. We have a long-term plan, like I said, and every month we will have something special happen on the full moon, which first of all keeps us as a team accountable, and also it keeps the holders interested, and it helps us build a strong community. And we do we do basically the way why we started out with the witches was because we wanted it, you know, like to be like a solid foundation to what we have planned. Because yeah, again, it's just the beginning, and this is why we decided to launch them first, because we have such big plans that we kind of like wanted to use the witches to kind of like raise the funds to be able to do what we want to do, because it is quite like extensive, and we are gonna need quite a lot of help actually to do it, to make the things happen that we want to make happen. And I know I'm not really giving much away about our our future plans, but that's because, you know, we just brewing in secret, right? And you're stirring a cauldron in secret. But yeah, we also don't want to rely on VCs. That's why we just decided to do it ourselves, and that's what we're going to use the funds for.
Do you have an idea how much it's going to cost? Have you set a mint price yet?
We haven't announced it yet, so we will announce it in the next, in the coming days, very soon. It is going to be like, because we are considering obviously the conditions of the market at the moment, and we want it to be affordable, so it isn't going to be like an exorbitant amount. We're taking everyone in consideration, everyone's opinions into consideration. We have been talking about to a few people in our community, listening to what they think we should price it at. So because obviously we are, this whole project is about building our community. So we want what's best for the project, and we want what's best for the community.
Thank you so much for responding to that. Airhead Fund, over to you. Do you have a date set for launch? And are you going to do collaborations apart from the XP collaborations? Are you going to do the regular collaborations with projects?
Is that for me, Barbara?
Yeah, that's for you.
Yes. So we have hired a collab manager. His name is Sergey, and I announced him a couple days ago. I can try to find his Twitter and pin it. Maybe someone can toss it in the comments. He came from very high recommendation from Giern. I was working together with him in Stravipedia. And so he's been crushing it. I think over 500 teams and communities have reached out to him. But we do have an amount of spots that's going to be allocated for whitelists. And what that basically means is guaranteed whitelist means that if you win one of those slots, instead of going through the XP and having to earn, you'll basically have a randomized tier. So if you win one of the whitelist spots via whatever mechanism the communities do, whether it's a raffle or who knows what, that means that you could get one of the fattest airheads without having to have all that XP. And so it's a slightly different, exciting option where, like, if you win that, it's randomized across whatever tier, and you sort of bypass the XP rewards. Although if you do have XP, there could be benefits for that, and so you'll still be included with that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for responding to that. And that's the end of the questions that I've got today. And also, I'm sure Stripes doesn't have any other questions. We appreciate you for spending time with us today, except you have any alpha to share with us. If you're cooking ahead, feel free to share that. So that'll be the last thing you drop for us before the space ends. And Teresa, if there's something you've never been asked before and you think is absolutely important that you mention it, feel free to mention it as we get set to end the space. So any of you can go ahead and do that. No alpha then?
Yeah, I just say keep your eyes peeled for more quests. Turn on notifications. A lot of these quests will be sort of being early matters, or being in like the first batch. And remembering quests, like, it's about boosting everybody can work together to do that. In the same way that this quest is based on like the amount of retweets, all of the things that we're doing with quests is not trying to like create more competition. It's almost like a skinny subsidy to let the smaller wallets have a chance against the whales. And we're really going to help shuffle the deck. So that should be super fun, and stay tuned.
All right. I'm also hearing alpha from Troy. Troy is working on something super interesting. Huh. Okay, something really great, not just for originals, but great for the entire space. Okay, that's an alpha. Thank you so much, Troy, for sharing that. I appreciate you, and I know that whatever you do would absolutely be beneficial. There any alpha from you?
Honestly, I just wanted to say that not necessarily drop any alpha, but I just wanted to say thank you to like everyone like in our community and like everyone who's just been like so crazy supportive and so crazy hyped about the project, because you know, I don't really get to like say that on the space as much, but it's like yeah, just thank everyone, because it's overwhelming. Like you can see, I don't even know how to say it. It's just so surreal, because I'm just like you know, this girl doodling away on her iPad and, you know, creating some little witches, and now this is happening, and I promise it's gonna be worth it. Thank you everyone for like putting your faith into me, and into the project, and yeah, we promise we're gonna save ordinals.
I like the sound of that. Thank you so much, Teresa. And to those who came on stage, I appreciate you. Leslie, I'll give you a spot to Fractal Dogos. And I'll go through the comments. We've got about 15 spots to Upcut and about 4 more spots to Fractal Dogo. So we'll just go through the comments and give that out just so you get something from being on the space. And I've got 100 It's a Full Moon token to give out. Yeah, I'll just give it to Lady Whistle Down. I'm sorry you couldn't get up on stage to speak, so I'll just give that to you. So congratulations to everyone who's won something or will still win something. I appreciate you. If you do not win today, you'll definitely be able to win it. And I wish everyone the best. Airhead, I appreciate you I think this might be your first space, right? I guess, or second, I'm not sure. But yeah, we really appreciate you for coming on here and joining us. And to Teresa, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Taproot Witches. Thank you, Stripes. And that's it. We're going to see you next Tuesday when we get down and have some fun on Just Originals. I'm your host, Barbara, and I am definitely going to leave you with some Reach Flex. I've got Drake, 21 Savage on the way. My name is Barbara.
Put a nigga in the chicken wing. Pussy. 21, can you do something for me? 21. Can you hit a little rich flex for me? 21. Then 21, can you do something for me? 21. Drop some bars to my pussy ex for me. Then 21, 21. Can you do something for me? Can you talk to the ops next for me? Okay. 21, do your thing, 21, do your thing. 21. Do your thing, 21. Yellow diamonds in the watch. This shit costs a lot. Never send a bitch or die. That's how you get shot. I DM in vanish mode. I do that shit a lot. Took her panties off and this bitch thicker than the plot. All my exes ain't nothing. Them hoes busted. If my ops ain't rapping, they ass ducking. You ain't ready to finish.
You're listening to Just Ordinals.
Just Ordinals.